It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Good morning and welcome to the Travel and Cruise Industry News Podcast. Coming to you from the inside passage on our way to Alaska. Happy to be here, folks. First off, I got to let you know, I got a really rugged Wi-Fi signal, so I'm not sure how long I'll stay live, but it's really kind of wonky here. I can do nothing in my cabin. I can't upload anything. I can't download anything. I know it wouldn't support a stream down there. So I came up on deck 9, which is the Lido deck, and seemingly have a halfway decent signal, but it's gone out on me a couple times as well. So bring you up to date on my situation here. Sorry about the frog. It seems that the smoke is cleared, some at least. It's better than it was in Vancouver. Oh, sorry about that. Okay. It's a kind of cloudy, yucky day. It's not raining or anything, but we definitely can see more of the mountains and so forth than we could in Vancouver. So that's a good sign. Sitting up here on the Lido deck, I've got just a lovely view out of the inside passage. I saw something break water a little while ago. I don't know if it was a whale or not. I didn't see any other breaks, but I was kind of hoping to catch a whale this morning, but haven't so far. We go into Ketchikan tomorrow. So the show will be coming from Ketchikan tomorrow. I'm not sure what I'm going to do as far as an excursion tomorrow. They did send me up a list of things that are accessible, but it came just as I was leaving the room to come up here to finish setting up the show. So I haven't really looked at the list yet. We do have to talk about a couple stories this morning. There's not a whole lot of news other than weather. Of course, Hilary just hammered California. We also got cruise ship schedule changes. And then we got to look at the Atlantic. 5 storms all of a sudden popped up in the Atlantic. And the Carnival Celebration was delayed. That wasn't for weather, however. But that and lots more at 11 o'clock here this morning. Today, folks, is National Spumoni Day. I can't say that that's one of my favorites, but I've had it on occasion. Those of you that don't know, it's a kind of sort of like our Neapolitan ice cream, only it's Italian. Got a little different texture. Yeah, it's not bad. I don't know if they have spumoni on this ship or not. But if they do, I'll have some at dinner tonight just because it's National Spumoni Day. No other reason. All right. Before we get to the actual stories on the weather, Kenneth and Robin are down there in Los Angeles. They sail later today on Emerald Princess. And they've sent me a bunch of pictures, which because of the wonky signal, I was having trouble getting them downloaded, but I did finally get them downloaded. And by the way, things are looking much better for them sailing this afternoon. When I checked just a few minutes ago, there's light rain in Los Angeles this morning, but they're talking about by afternoon, there should be the pretty wide sunshine. So sail away for them is going to be much better than expected. No news on damages to Cabo or Puerto Vallarta or Mazatlan, so I don't know what they're going to run into as they head down the Mexican Riviera. Of course, this is a Panama Canal cruise that Kenneth and Robin are on that ends up in New York. So it's, 19 days or something? It's quite a cruise. But anyway, they were staying, again, this thing doesn't switch very quickly, but they were staying at the Queen Mary Hotel, and then they toured the Queen Mary. That's, of course, their bedroom. And that's an old-fashioned scale, it looks like, in a phone booth on the ship. And a model. And there was a note someplace that there was something was made out of Legos, but from Robin, and I couldn't figure out what it was. I don't know if this model was made out of Legos, but something she said was made out of Legos, but then I wasn't sure what she was referring to. And just a couple scenes from the Queen Mary. I've never done the tour of the Queen Mary. When I was last in Los Angeles with time to do something like that, it was shut down. So, I mean, that was quite a show, no doubt about it. And, so thanks to Kenneth and Robin for keeping me in their thoughts and sending a lot of stuff through. And good luck on the cruise. It does look like they're going to get out today. The weather is improving in Los Angeles. So I thought for sure they'd be, get drowned just to get on the ship. But it doesn't look like it's going to be that way this afternoon. So they should have a pretty good sail away. We are sailing. I don't know how well this will look. Let me see if I can give you a quick flash. We're a little closer to a couple islands. Oh, I got to take that picture off. Sorry. There we go. That's some of the islands along the inside passage. As you can see, I've got just a terrible view. And so that's pretty nice. All right. I can do this without tearing the camera up. All right. Anyway, I love it up here. I'll never miss a season without coming to Alaska, even with the airfare. I hate the flying part of it. All right. We got to look at the news before we do anything else. I mean, at the weather before we do anything else, folks. Of course, the Pacific, it's got slaughtered. Southwest are preparing for catastrophic and life-threatening flooding as Tropical Storm Hilary continues north after making landfall in the northern part of Mexico's Baja, California Peninsula yesterday. Flooding has already impacted many areas, and numerous rock and mudslides have been reported. Hilary is the first tropical storm to hit Southern California in 84 years. It strengthened into a Category 4 hurricane before weakening into a tropical storm prior to making landfall. The storm is still expected to bring heavy rainfall along the path through this morning, according to the latest advisory from the National Hurricane Center. Potentially historic amount of rainfall is expected to cause life-threatening to catastrophic flash, urban, and arroyo flooding, including landslides, mudslides, and debris flows through the day today, so says the National Hurricane Center. Hilary dumped more than half the California, had no power due to the storm, and Palm Springs lost 911 service last night. Today, it's actually probably going to make some of the heavier rains are going to make it as far north as the southeastern tip of Oregon and into Idaho. and they could get as much as 1 to 3 inches up there and everything in between. So clearly, Nevada, some of those desert areas, really high risk of flooding, from Los Angeles on up. So everybody are in our thoughts out there now with the flooding. There were evacuation orders from Riverside County and San Bernardino, and evacuation Baja Peninsula yesterday. The storm anticipated to bring significant rainfall and potentially severe flooding across a wide area through the day today. It still poses quite a danger, so says the Hurricane Center. Now, see if I can see and hear what we're doing on cruise ships. Carnival Cruise Line adjusted the Panorama schedule for a 7-day cruise that began in Long Beach on Saturday. The ship's stops were rearranged, with Cabo visited tomorrow instead of Puerto Vallarta, while Mazatlan's Wednesday call is canceled in favor of Puerto Vallarta. Navigator of the Seas rescheduled its visit to Ensenada to ensure it could steer clear of the storm's projected path. And the Emerald Princess and Kenneth and Robin are getting on this afternoon. I decided to include a stop in Ensenada before returning to Los Angeles earlier than was planned. Of course, that's not going to affect Kenneth and Robin. Their sail away is going to be pretty much as expected. So, stuff. Residents to take necessary precautions. But unfortunately, folks, that's not the only weather. Look at this map, would you? And a lot of this has just popped up literally over the last couple days. 5 storms across the Atlantic basin. Emily is expected to become a post-tropical cyclone soon. She's about 1,165 miles west-northwest of Cabo Verde Islands. Maximum winds are 40 miles an hour. She's moving west-northwest 12. Pressure's 1,004. Further weakening is forecast, and Emily could become a post-tropical cyclone by this evening. The short-lived tropical storm Gert is quickly unraveling. She's located about 455 miles east-southeast of the northern Leeward Islands. Maximum sustained winds are 40. Present movement is west at 9 miles an hour. Central pressure is 1,006. She's expected to be a remnant low later today and dissipate by tomorrow. Franklin, likely to produce heavy rains over portions of Hispaniola and Puerto Rico during the next couple of days. Currently, she's located 245 miles south of Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. Maximum sustained winds are 50. Present movement is the west at 12. Pressure is at 999 and dropping. So here's one that we clearly have to watch. A sharp turn to the north is expected tonight or early tomorrow, and a generally northward motion is expected on Tuesday. On the forecast track, the center of Franklin is forecast to reach the southern coast of Hispaniola late tomorrow or tomorrow night. Maximum sustained winds are 50 with much higher gusts, and some strengthening is forecast before Franklin reaches Hispaniola. Now, the two little X's, the one closest to the U.S. and the Western Gulf, showers and thunderstorms continue in association across the central Gulf of Mexico. Tropical depression or storm is likely to form as it approaches the western Gulf of Mexico coastline on Tuesday. Interests of the western Gulf of Mexico should monitor the progress of this system. Currently, they're talking about 48 hours, 70% chance of further development, and a 70% chance for the next 7 days. And finally, the storm is actually closest to the coast of Africa, in the eastern tropical Atlantic. A large area of disorganized showers and thunderstorms over the far eastern tropical Atlantic is associated with a tropical wave located near the Cabo Verde Islands. This one looks like it's going to rapidly progress. 40% chance over the next 70 hours and a 70% chance over the next 7 days. So, folks, it's that season, and it looks like it's definitely firing up in the Atlantic. All right. I'll be back with one more story, and we'll see who's in the chat room after a quick word from one of our network sponsors. All right. The actual story that we have left this morning, folks, has to deal with Carnival Celebration. So basically, here's what happened, folks. Due to a medical evaluation, come on, Tom, a medical evacuation on the most recent sailing, Carnival Celebration has been delayed in returning to Port Miami, and the resulting embarkation for the next cruise has likewise been delayed. Embarking guests were notified via email and asked to delay their arrival at Terminal F for 4 hours past the originally scheduled appointment. So their embarkation was delayed by approximately 4 hours yesterday. The nature of the medical emergency or impacted guests has not been divulged in order to preserve the privacy of the individuals involved, as well as their family members. The affected parties were airlifted from the vessel Friday while the ship was at sea. All right, that's it on the news portion of today, folks. By the way, it is now 6:19 in the morning, ship's time. So I can go have breakfast now. But keeping up with the hour changes, that's a real challenge. All right, let's see who's in the chat room. There's Kenneth. Good morning, everybody. Kenneth, good luck today getting your cruise started. Also, one thing that might still affect it, and I could not find any update from just a little blurb that I was sent over the weekend. There seems to be some traffic jam problems going through the canal right now. Hopefully that's not going to affect you. But at least, even though I'm sure you had a pretty wet weekend, you're going to be able to get off today just fine. Looks like it might be raining just a little bit over towards some of those islands. Anyway, again, I love sitting up here watching the water. Mike's with us. Hi, Mike. Amy's here. How you doing, Amy? You're looking good, Chillie. Well, thank you, Amy. I don't ever look good, but I appreciate the comment. Actually, I'm surprised that the signal has held up as well as it has. Man, in my room, it's awful. Of course, I'm down in the bowels of hell on this cruise. I'm on deck 1. This ship doesn't have a whole lot of handicap accessible rooms. So, I mean, I'm down literally at the bottom, which is okay. What the hell? I'm just in my room to sleep anyway. Last night, I did go after, spending the night in the airport, or most of the night in the airport, Saturday night. And then, I slept on the plane some, but that wasn't good sleep. And when I slept in the airport, wasn't good sleep. So after dinner last night, and I knew I had to be up ridiculously early today to get my research done for today's show, I went to bed right after dinner. So I caught up on my sleep a little bit. All right, Steve's with us out in Kentucky. How you doing, Steve? Have an adult beverage for me. I did have 2 yesterday. This is one of those cruises where I'm paying for my drinks, so I don't drink as much as I will next week. Next week on the Princess, I've got the Princess Plus package, which includes the drinks package. So I had one at dinner last night, and I had one about sail away time, I guess. It was a pretty good sail away yesterday on the aft deck. Had the crew out there doing the line dancing and stuff. A nice turnout of people. It was have gone. It's trying to come back, so I'm just going to stay like you guys went through all of that. Cindy's with us. Hi, Cindy. The ship model was made out of the Legos. 40 foot long. Wow. That's pretty impressive, Kevin. I thought that's what Robin meant, but I wasn't 100% sure. Oh, thank you for clarifying that. Nikki's with us down in Jacksonville. Good morning from the dinner stop. Oh, not a good place to be, Nikki. I've done a lot of that lately. I heard there was a pileup around 200 ships waiting to go through the Panama Canal, so hopefully we can get through. Yeah, I'm wondering how many of that is freighters and stuff that have, they have some weird rules on when ships can go through and not go through. So yeah, I heard the same thing, Kev. It'll be interesting to see when you get there if they let the passenger ships go through or if you have to wait more time to get into the canal. I'm not sure how they do it. There was a 5.1 earthquake in Ventura, California. Holy cow. A tropical storm and an earthquake. Well, California's a hell of a place. My goodness. No idea if you're seeing the end of this. I came back. Again, for the next, at least until we get on the next ship, at least for this cruise, don't be surprised if anything crazy happens with the Wi-Fi signal. All right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today. As always, thanks for being with me. I will be back same time tomorrow. Those of you that are on my Facebook channel, I've done a couple Facebook live streams which seem to go fairly well. Where I'm having trouble is getting stuff from my phone back onto my computer so I can upload it to YouTube. That's where I'm running into the problem with the signal. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, think about cruising. Hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas. This is the old fat travel guy living the life in the Inside Passage in Alaska. See you tomorrow.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.